ring?
Yeah.
With or without the ankle monitor on?
Al Heyman, everybody.
Turns out he can't read just like Floyd.
Oh, MVP.
He's going to win that fight. I really don't. I don't know what, I mean, it's an exhibition. I don't know if it's going to go on the record or not. It's Florida. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I don't know. Dude, I genuinely don't know if Tank's going to win that fight. I honest to God, don't know the answer to that. It's like a bit of a mystery to me, if I could be honest with you.
So then that's when we knew that, like, all right, he might be up to the bullshit. Just like the first fight, when the first fight was supposed to happen in December, we fought in March.
I'm gonna beat your ass, and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love ass. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass.
This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. I'm no cap.
Jake Paul brutally trolls Gervonta Tank Davis in a savage jab that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis criticized Jake Paul's appearance, saying he looks like a clown with his mohawk hairstyle and unusual clothing.
That outfit is trash. For real. That outfit is garbage. And that hairstyle. Anybody that ever rocked a mohawk is a clown. We all know this. Anybody rocked a mohawk. Name it.
In response, Jake Paul made the rivalry personal by calling Tank Davis an abuser and a clown for allegedly laying hands on a woman, referring to Gervonta's latest troubles with law enforcement for domestic violence. And
Gervonta, you're the clown, buddy. You're the fucking clown, Gervonta. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown. I got you a poodle.
Now, okay.
However, regardless of this, Gervonta tried to defend himself by saying that if he were truly an abuser, there would be more assault cases against him. He questioned why no other women have come forward, insisting that he is not the person he has been portrayed to be.
When things got like that, no, listen. When one female did a charge, it was mad females coming out, right? So if I hit a female, right? Wouldn't it be mad other females? Like I ain't been just with one female. Like I'm 30 years old. Like let's be real. I've been with more than one female. Wouldn't mad females come out and say something about me hitting them? No. Okay.
Additionally, Jake Paul mocked Gervonta by implying that Tank is small enough to be his kid and that he plans to bring him along to work on fight night. Jake went on X and wrote, "Bring your kid to work day, November 14th, Miami, Florida." Furthermore, Jake caused another stir on X with a vulgar dig at Tank Davis. He shared an image using his usual brand of inappropriate humor to mock the champion. He captioned the image, "Undisputed." However, at the press conference, Jake Paul admitted that his reach and size give him the advantage against Gervonta Davis. He said he plans to use distance to control the fight, and claimed there are many holes in Davis's defense that others have failed to expose, but he intends to exploit them inside the ring.
Yeah, I would say a lot of things, but I think first and foremost is going to just be my reach, my size, being able to keep him away. I think there's a lot of holes in his defense that a lot of people haven't exposed before, and he's a great fighter, one of the best. I'm excited. He's elevating me to a new height. He's making me push myself to my limits. I'm more locked in than ever. But at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be able to come out on top and outbox the guy who's been doing it for 7 times as long as me.
On the other hand, Tank Davis said this is the first time he can relax and enjoy himself heading into a fight. He explained that he and Jake Paul are giving boxing something it has been missing for a long time, and that is pure excitement.
It just, I don't want to put a lot out there, but it's just, doing what's best for me and what's right for me. And I've been doing this for a little minute now. I've been doing it since I was 7 years old. So this is the first camp I can, enjoy myself, be back myself. I think it's going to be a great event. Every time I fight is fireworks. Jake Paul coming in, he's much bigger, he's much stronger. Boxing wins come November the 14th. It's not just me and Jake on a fight. It's a whole card, and we just giving boxing what it needs, and that's excitement.
Moreover, Tank Davis admitted that the only thing that concerns him about facing Jake Paul is Paul himself. He explained that he has never shared the ring with a fighter like Jake before, so the outcome is uncertain. Davis added that the fight will require a lot of adapting once they are inside the ring.
What concerns me, his power. Gotta test his power. Gotta test his just everything. To be honest, I never been in the ring with Jake, so I could say a lot. But when it comes down to November the 14th, you know, I gotta be in there with him. I gotta be able to, you know, his arm reach, his size, his power, you know, the way he moving and things like that. I just gotta adapt, you know, as I fight him come November the 14th.
However, Jake took a jab at Tank Davis, claiming he has been practicing hitting the ground and has been aiming at targets below his own knees. So he is well prepared for Tank, and added that he has been focusing on speed and sparring drills, and to which Davis responded angrily, threatening that if Jake does not bring his best or is found with drugs in his system, he will not only beat him but also his teammates as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of punching down, practicing, hitting below my knees, and a lot of speed. We're sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your ass and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love ass. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. He know. He laughing.
What are you talking about?
What
does he have to do with this?
Let anything. You know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen, and I'm gonna show you and him.
Meanwhile, Luke Thomas said the only reason Tank Davis accepted this fight is for the payday, while Jake Paul pushed for it because it is the only matchup he can realistically win, given the size difference. Thomas pointed out that Paul is nearly twice Davis's size in both height and weight, and questioned whether Tank can overcome such a huge physical disparity.
I suspect the reason that Tank took it is the payday, and I suspect the reason that Jake took it is, yes, celebrity payday, blah, 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 but that he can probably win this one. We're talking about an enormous amount of difference. Now, I don't know what they're going to make Jake get down to. I suspect that, you know, Tank, I don't know if Tank's going to win that fight. I really don't. I don't know what, I mean, it's an exhibition. I don't know if it's going to go on the record or not. It's Florida. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if Tank's going to win that fight. I honest to God, don't know the answer to that. It's like a bit of a mystery to me, if I could be honest with you. Here, let me do this.
Jake Paul did not miss a chance to roast Tank Davis, even when Davis offered a word of praise. Paul shot back, mocking him for not being able to read like Floyd Mayweather.
Again, we two guys from different worlds that's still on the same that one goal, and that's to make sure our family, our kids, and everything is okay. So, shout out to Jake Paul for you know, coming with me and making this event happen, and his team, and what is MP Promotions, Netflix, Al Heyman, everybody.
Turns out he can't read just like Floyd.
Oh, MP. Oh,
You got it, champ.
I'm not worried about that.
You got it, champ.
People talk all day. It's cool.
Meanwhile, Lamont Roach mocked Tank Davis, saying every time he got to explain why he's fighting Jake. Adding to that, Lamont revealed that Gervonta Davis had already signed a contract to face him again, but the rematch was pushed back to August. Roach said that once the fight was delayed, he realized Tank was ducking the matchup.
Lawyers, his team, promotional company, lawyers, contract, boom, sign, boom. That was for June. This contract was signed both ends in June. So there's an official rematch. Undercard and everything. Like, that shit was supposed to happen.
Set in stone.
Set in stone. Nah, really. Like that's what people don't understand. Like, people don't know. Like, that shit was supposed to happen. Then it got pushed back to August. So then that's when we knew that, like, all right, he might be up to the bullshit. Just like the first fight, when the first fight was supposed to happen in December, we fought in March. Whatever.
Building on that, Lamont Roach criticized Gervonta Davis for lacking the decency to inform him that he planned to fight Jake Paul before completing their rematch. He stated that by moving forward without making any arrangements, Davis effectively breached the contract they had in place.
So I was on the fence because they didn't announce. They was like, all right, we're going to announce. All right, we're going to announce. All right, they're going to announce. Every week. All right, we're going to announce the fight. I'm like, all right, they on the bullshit. Now, I found out like everybody else, but it was just like, damn, like, all right.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't reach out to me and say, all right, we gonna fight Jake. We gonna, cause again, we have a f***ing contract.
Yeah.
You cannot breach that contract without making any type of arrangements or whatever the case may be. You need to let a know.
like off the record,
it's just like, all right, cool, like. So when we get that, it's just like, But we knew, you know what? Never mind. I knew way before that. I knew way before it got announced. Now that I think about it, I knew way before it got announced because we broke camp and we came home. We broke camp and we came home. But it was like, it was just like, all right, they was trying to do something to cover for it. Like the other side. They was trying to do something to cover for it. Not necessarily him, but the other side, the business side, they was trying to do something to cover for it. And it was just like, So when it did come up, we was like, all right, we seen this coming. Boom. But at the end of the day, you cannot breach the contract.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the lawyers got to say about that?
See? And then for all you who...
During the face-off, many observers noted that Gervonta Davis appeared disinterested, keeping his distance and avoiding eye contact with Jake Paul. Among the people who noticed Tank's demeanor was Gareth A. Davies, who observed that Gervonta Davis looked completely uninterested at the press conference, comparing him to a northern football fan dragged to a shopping center instead of being allowed to sit in his favorite seat at the stadium. He added that it felt as though Tank was there against his will, and even during the face-off, he appeared reluctant to get anywhere near Jake Paul.
He reminded me of a northern football fan being dragged to a shopping centre on a Saturday afternoon rather than being allowed to go to his favourite Liverpool seat. You'll relate to that, won't you? It was almost like he'd been shackled and dragged there against his will. Even when they faced off, it was as if Jake Paul had a bad smell about him or something. He didn't want to get near Jake Paul. He didn't want to, as if he didn't want to indulge anyone at all.
In contrast, Showbiz the Adult commented on the face-off, noting that Tank Davis appeared bashful while Jake Paul was active and aggressive. Tank avoided looking at Jake, which to a casual fan might seem like fear.
When you look at the stare down, Tank Davis is looking down in a way he seems bashful, and I think bashful is the proper word, all right? And Jake is doing a lot of things. Tank, kind of, swung at his armpit or whatever he did or whatever, and did those little things. But everything else, he didn't really look at Jake. He was looking down in a way and all bashful and shit. And to the untrained eye, he would look.
However, Showbiz argued that Davis looked more like a cornered dog, warning that this is when he is at his most dangerous.
Tank Davis, in that stare down, he didn't show fear as much as he showed a dog, maybe a very uncomfortable dog that you think is cornered, and that's when he's at his most dangerous. I know you guys are like cats.
Moreover, Showbiz stated that initially he thought Jake Paul would have the upper hand and could knock down Tank Davis. However, after watching the press conference, he expressed confidence that Tank has what it takes to pull through and beat Jake.
Listen, I was feeling that Jake Paul was gonna knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. No cap. I know Tank wasn't saying much, fumbling over his words, seems bashful, but I'm looking, right? And I'm just like, bro, he doesn't feel that Jake Paul is an issue. Even though he said it, he doesn't feel like he has to whoop his ass. He doesn't feel threatened. That's the word. He doesn't feel threatened.
Additionally, Gareth said this matchup has turned into the biggest freak show so far, noting that while Gervonta Davis is not on everybody's list, he is still part of the discussion.
There's an end game and a bookend to what Jake Paul's doing, and I think he's getting very close to the bone with this one, because it doesn't really work. It's the biggest freak show so far. Like you say, Gervonta is not in everybody's list, but he's there or thereabouts in the pound for pound list. I mean, since the Lamont Roach fight.
Moreover, Gareth explained that ever since the Lamont Roach fight, many have been discrediting Davis, and combined with his issues outside the ring, people have started questioning whether he truly belongs in the top 10 pound for pound.
People have been down on him a little bit more. You know, a lot of people might have lost that fight, you know. Obviously his troubles and travails away from the ring have meant that, you know, people are starting to question at 33 now, is he? Or I don't think we all are, but people are in general beginning to, pundits, but some fans are beginning to question his validity in that top 10 pound for pound list. I think he belongs there myself, or just outside it. Certainly in the top 15, no question.
Adding to that, Davies said he wants to see Gervonta Davis step into the ring with Shakur Stevenson or even with Naoya Inoue. He added that a matchup between Inoue and Davis would mirror the intrigue of a potential clash between Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson.
I had him at 11 or 12, but I might have done a list on Saturday night. And obviously we want to see him in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. It's the big fight. Or even in Naoya Inoue at some point. Which is a fantasy matchup that I remember dreaming about around the same time I was dreaming about Terrence Crawford and Saul Canelo Alvarez a couple of years ago. That's a fight that should be doable, but obviously he's being held away from the Saudi Arabian mix, Turki Al Sheikh, and you know, he looked listless yesterday and disinterested, all those things, and...
Showbiz. The adult shared his take on the situation around Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis, noting that the long-anticipated Stevenson versus Tank fight remains uncertain. Despite speculation about Tank's future following the Jake Paul bout, retirement does not appear to be in the cards. Instead, Davis seems poised for a rematch with Lamont Roach.
You know, you don't really know when that fight would happen. It looks like Tank is not going to retire after Jake, and he probably will have Lamont Roach to rematch next. And I'm hearing Lamont Roach will be fighting Pitbull, which I'm not sure if he gets out that fight. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't know how good I don't believe in Lamont Roach yet.
In short, the build-up between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis has ignited fireworks both inside and outside the ring. From personal digs and social media jabs to stark-size advantages and tense press conference showdowns, this fight has everything boxing fans crave: drama, unpredictability, and high stakes. As fight night approaches, all eyes will be on these two polarizing figures to see if Jake's strategy and size advantage can topple Davis's skill. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video with more exciting updates.